Hello and welcome to Cooking with Nori. Today we'll be making Yuba Spring Rolls. This is number 8 of 100 tofu recipes. The original recipe is quite boring. Wrap up some veg with yuba. So we spiced it up and made it delicious. Let's go!
Alright, so we're going to set 2 dried shiitake juice ears and 2 kurumafu in water and set aside for 20 minutes. Next up, we're cutting burdock into thin strips. This is just one way of doing it. And then make sure that once you've cut your burdock, you put it in some fresh water, otherwise it will turn pink. Next up is carrots. Same thing. We will ultimately cut these into thin strips. Next ingredient is Butterbur. If you don't have Butterbur, it's out of season, just use leek or spring onion. Works perfectly fine. Check up on the Kurumafu when it's stuffed like this. Squeeze out all the water and cut up into thin strips, like so. Check up on the juice ear and the shiitake if they're soft enough. Chop them up into little strips. No surprises there, huh? For the shiitake, it's easier to cut them if you separate the umbrella part from the stalk. But ultimately, you can also chop up the stalk, so don't chuck that away. In a pan, put in 2 tablespoons of sesame oil and fry all the vegetables up. Don't forget, you'll need to drain the burdock before you do this. Once you see the vegetables are wilted, do 2 tablespoons each of sake, mirin and soy sauce, followed by 1 tablespoon of sugar. Heat further until all the condiments are soaked in, and then set aside in a separate bowl. Get out some spring roll sheets. You can also use dry yuba if you're adventurous. And then wrap up the filling like so. So long as there's no filling sticking out, it works fine. Heat up enough oil in a pan on mid-heat until your chopsticks give a sizzle, and then place all your spring rolls. After one side is golden brown, flip them all over, and then they're ready to eat. One of my favorite toppings or sauces would be to mix 1 tablespoon each of soy sauce and vinegar with a dash of chili oil.
That was number 8 of 100 tofu recipes. If you want to stick around for the other 99, please go subscribe. See ya!